What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the February 27, 2023 edition of Raw Talk. Scott Stanford replacing Jackie Redmond in the studio alongside Matt Camp to break down Monday's otherwise pretty bland, boring edition of Raw ahead of next week's big show. John Cena coming back, Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa, among other things happening. They do run down the biggest headlines from Monday's show, including recapping Asuka versus Carmella, a match won by Asuka, of course. Carmella talks to Byron Saxton backstage here on the show, saying that she's not thinking about the past. She's not thinking about her loss to Asuka on the show. Instead, she's looking forward to her match next week with the Raw Women's Champion in non-title action, Bianca Belair. She's going to show her why Mela is money. And then Chelsea Green comes in, talks about how she called the car rental manager, ended up getting a nice ride, blah, blah, blah. So more interaction from Carmella and Chelsea Green here, kind of playing off the chemistry they showed on Raw backstage in that segment. So we could be headed to a tag team between the two, which I think would be a nice fit. We kind of saw something similar with Sonya and Chelsea a couple of weeks ago. Didn't go anywhere, but continued nice usage of both women on the show. So back in the studio, they preview Asuka and Belair for next week, tease a Carmella win. Maybe if she wins, she factors into the Raw Women's Championship match at Mania, which, of course, spoiler alert, she won't. They recap Bobby Lashley's win over Elias, quick, harmless, decisive. They also replay the Firefly Funhouse segment with Bray Wyatt playing mind games with Bray Wyatt, or rather Bobby Lashley, going into WrestleMania, which I personally can't bring myself to care about. Matt Camp talks about how Bray Wyatt plays mind games. Bobby Lashley is straightforward, and he's not going to play those same sort of games, so I guess that's just the story of the match. Personally, I don't really care. Backstage, Byron catches up with Rick Boogs, who was taking notes during Elias' match with Bobby, and Bobby explains Elias' whole strategy, saying that Elias explained the whole thing to him. He shows off his drawing, his notes. That was pretty much it. No real in-depth analysis here from Rick Boogs, although he was entertaining as always. Back in the studio, they replay the Miz TV segment with Miz announcing he's hosting WrestleMania and interacting with Rollins, who challenged, or rather invited, Logan Paul to appear on Raw next week. Matt Camp, back in the studio, brings up Jake Paul's loss on Sunday night, which was funny, and says that Seth Rollins is taking initiative and calling Logan Paul to Raw next week to go face-to-face with him. They also talk Miz hosting WrestleMania and what that might mean. They recap the WWE Women's Tag Team titles changing hands in the main event on Raw, Becky Lynch and Lita knocking off Damage Control to become new champions. They talk about how the road to WrestleMania constantly is taking unexpected turns. They question what might be next for the tag team title picture, but it's all a matter of the numbers game and Damage Control being bested at their own game on Monday. They talk to Dolph Ziggler here on the show. Why? I don't know. There was another interaction between the two after Ali beat Ziggler last week on the show on Raw, which they recap here. There was another interaction between Ziggler and Ali backstage that didn't air on Raw. It went on their YouTube channel after the show. So again, why they bothered wasting time with this on Raw Talk, I don't know. But Dolph says that he gives credit to Ali for beating him last week. Says that Dolph should have known better, and he's going to prepare better for next week when they have a rematch that, again, no one gives a shit about. They replay the Cody Rhodes promo following his win over Chad Gable, where he basically said and flat out announced he's going to SmackDown, maybe not necessarily to confront Roman Reigns, but it's kind of heavily implied. So back in the studio to close out the show, they preview SmackDown for Friday with Roman and Cody appearing. If they'll cross paths, we'll see. Matt Camp says that Roman Reigns is only concerned with retaining his undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and that the bloodline is most certainly fractured. And they also plug Beth Phoenix and Finn Balor appearing in the bump this coming Wednesday. Probably not at the same time, given their issues with each other in their respective groups, but probably at separate points on the show on Wednesday. So that was it for Raw Talk for February 27, 2023. Pretty straightforward show. The Rick Boogs interview was kind of a waste of time, but it was entertaining for what it was. The Carmella, Chelsea Green stuff, kind of more of the same. And we also heard from Ziggler as well, which was kind of a waste of time because I personally could not give two shits about his feud currently with Mustafa Ali. But decent stuff here on Raw Talk as we head further and further on the road to WrestleMania. Thanks for checking the review, folks. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. I'm Graham G. Matthews. Have an awesome one, and I'll catch your ass down the road.